Welcome everybody to a brand new episode of the Beta Report. Yeah, I'm gonna get my own reggaeton horn for real one though, not wanky one like mine. Anyways, I am your host. I am Jeff, aka the Con. Okay. So I know that we've kind of relaunched the podcast a bit, so I'm hoping that we're getting some new listeners here and there, maybe like one. So for that one person who's listening, who doesn't know why I'm the Con, well, actually Con is an acronym, starts for King of the Nerds. And back when we had started the podcast, there was 3 other guys, aside from myself. And one of the guys was not really your like typical moviegoer. Like, he knew movies. If you tell him superheroes, he would say like, you know, Batman, you know, probably the only superhero he knew. So when I mentioned a sort of a random fact or a random thing about a about a superhero, he's like, man, how do you know all this stuff, man? You're like the king of the nerds. And it's like, dude, it's probably something I found on Wikipedia or something. So it wasn't a big deal. But that stuck, and they were calling me King of the Nerds. They call me Con for short. So it kind of stuck. So look, I am fully aware that there are way more people who are more qualified to carry a moniker like King of the Nerds. But, I mean, you know, I am the King of the Nerds, and I am a nerd, true and true. There are things that I do like. I love things that nerd people like. I love Star Wars and the other stuff. But I'm also a real nerd because, like, like a big nerd when it comes to other things, too. Because there's different types of nerds, right? There's different levels here. But when I was in 6th grade, I'll tell you when I was a real nerd, when I was in 6th grade, and you had those like graduation ceremonies when you're going from elementary to junior high, and I had one of those, and I thought, you know, it'd be a good idea. I'm going to invite all my friends to have a graduation party at my house. And I had this one scene in my head that I thought would be like completely epic, would be lighting some fireworks and then say, let the party begin. Yeah, that was way better in my head than when it actually came out. It was like it was like Michael Scott and Scott's Tots level of cringe when I go back and think about it, because there were like 4 people there. So yeah, it was sad, bro. But you know what? I know that if I would do it today, I think I'd get like 6 people, maybe 7, and 2 of those would probably be my parents who show up. So it's all good. It's all right. I'm still the king of the nerds, but hey, there you go. Anyways, we have a great show for you guys today. We have a movie review. We're going to share with you a TV review. And I'm also going to give you my top 10 movies that I'm looking forward to 2023. And our pick of the week, of course, is, we'll tell you later what the pick of the week is. For now, let's jump into our movie review. Let's jump right into it. All right. Honestly, guys, to be honest with you, this will be our last episode because my lifelong dream of going to a movie premiere came true. Yes, it did. We walked the red carpet yesterday. And you'll see right there with my production team, we were actually on a red carpet. We were there. The lights, the paparazzi. Okay, none of that is true. And no, it's not our last episode. I was going to say it only took 1 episode and we were there. No, it was a movie screening, but they had a feel of a movie premiere. But, I mean, technically it was a movie premiere, but it was a movie screening, but then not really. Well, anyways, we got to see a movie, all right? That's the main point. But the movie that we saw is a movie called Jesus Revolution. Yeah. Now, let me tell you a little bit about myself. Like, yes, let me start off by saying I am a Christian. I do go to church with my family. And I will say that most Christian movies are not good. I mean, to be honest, they can be pretty bad. All right, they're really bad. Okay, most of them suck. Yeah. I'm sorry. Yeah. See, they do. I'm sorry to say. It's either bad acting, bad dialogue, a bad script. I mean, some people think that they'll put Michael Ironside on there or the guy from Starship Troopers on it, and then all of a sudden they got some kind of like Hollywood cred or something like that. But unfortunately, no. Most of these movies are not that great. But I will say that Jesus Revolution is not that movie. Now, this movie is based on the Jesus movement or the Jesus Revolution. Well, the title of the movie, but it's actually better known as the Jesus movement. Even Time Magazine put out a very famous cover on their magazine that kind of put out what this Jesus movement, which happened around the 60s and 70s, when a group of hippies and kind of started this movement in a small church and kind of spread like wildfire all over the country. And it prompted Time Magazine to put out this cover. So it's kind of based on that whole thing. And the movie has a couple main characters. One of them is by an actor, or the actor who plays one of the main characters. Jonathan Roumie was an actor that played in the miniseries The Chosen, that was very popular, which is funny because he played Jesus in that series. And then he went on to play Lonnie Frisbee, who's one of the main hippies, it's funny that I call them main hippies, but one of the main people who started that whole Jesus movement. And what's funny about that is that they kind of look the same. He looks like he played a Jesus to go on to play another character that looks like Jesus. So didn't take a lot to get into that role. But then we also have, that I found out today, that Joel Courtney, who plays the character of Greg Laurie, I shouldn't say character, the real life person of Greg Laurie, was the same kid, because he was a kid at the time, that was in Super 8. And Super 8 is an awesome movie. It's such a great movie. I felt like when I found that out today, I was like, I want to watch this movie right now. And I would recommend you go watch that movie, Super 8. It's really great. But he's in that movie as well. And arguably, probably the biggest star in the movie is Kelsey Grammer, who plays a pastor named Chuck Smith. And so the movie itself is about that movement, mostly about Lonnie Frisbee showing up to Chuck Smith's church and kind of, not representing, but showing up and presenting himself as a different type of Christian. And really it's just that they were different. They had long hair. They had no shoes or socks. You guys know how hippies looked, and that's exactly how they were back then. And it's that relationship between Lonnie Frisbee and Chuck Smith, which I think was the highlight of that movie, is the fact of how how Lonnie came into Chuck Smith's life and changed the way he thought and the way he would react to people who would look different, which I thought was the biggest lesson from this movie. And what I got from this movie was the fact that it doesn't matter how different we are, that the movie kind of teaches you to be, or at least puts out there that we should be embracing these people that are different from us, people who think different, people that might not believe the same thing that we do. I feel like sometimes people push these people away, don't accept them. In fact, sometimes even to the point where you feel like they don't deserve to be inside a church, or they don't deserve the love of God, which is weird, right? Because there's no way you should be thinking that way. But when in fact we don't deserve God's love and blessing. So to be that against other people, and to this day, I'm being real with you guys, I think some Christians push people away for their either how they look, what they believe, or who they are, and like none of that should be a factor into how we take people in. And I think that movie kind of teaches you, reminds you that behind that long hair, behind a certain character, there may be something way bigger in that. And we see that with Lonnie Frisbee, who just created this huge movement along with Chuck Smith. And the movie's great. Now, there are some issues in it. Like, I think that some of the early parts of Greg Laurie's life doesn't like fit well sometimes with the story with Lonnie Smith and Lonnie Frisbee and Chuck Smith. It's just, I think maybe just because it overshadows it, because that part was so good. But it fit better as the movie goes on. But I think that was part of it. And then the other thing too is that they don't really talk about a lot of the complications that Lonnie Smith had. He had a very complicated life that obviously wouldn't be viewed well. But it's real and it's part of it. So I think leaving it out makes it you run the danger of it not being authentic because you try to not put it in there. But that's not the main point, obviously, right? The main point was that Lonnie Smith was real. I keep saying Lonnie Smith. Lonnie Frisbee was a real person who had real love for people and really wanted to reach out people. So the movie's great. I mean, it's acted well. It's filmed very well. The story is very touching. It's great. It really is. And I guess it's personal to me too, because, Chuck Smith started the Calvary Chapel churches around the world, and they started in Costa Mesa, out here in Southern California. And I actually go to a Calvary Chapel Downey, so it's kind of personal to me as well. If it's really awesome to see how everything started, but really the lesson here is about embracing and loving others. And I thought that was such a great thing, and possibly see another Jesus revolution because of this movie. So it was really good. It was really great, and it's not the same as your other Christian movies that are not that great, but this one was. So there you go. It's not my only movie premiere. I'm hoping that I'll be able to go to another one, big one. So there you have it. So let's do our TV review, which was our pick of the week.
Pick of the week. Pick of the week.
Sneak that in. Not yet, okay? Just relax a little bit. That's great. It's our pick of the week from last week, which was The Last of Us. That's not The Last of Us. That's The Last of Us. Thank you. The Last of Us, guys, was amazing. It was so good. I feel like I need to add more substance to the review, because I could just say it's good and just believe me, it's good. But seriously, I think the fact that this movie, the adaptation movie, this series didn't take for granted the source material and just did it justice. Now, the big question is, do you have to play the game to enjoy this series? No. Answer is no. Does it enhance it? I think it does. Like, obviously, I played it back when it came out, and I don't know, was it 2013? Thank you. 2013 was when the first game came out. There is a sequel to it, but this first game is so great, so emotional. I mean, I was going to say something about it, but I don't want to say anything because it's sort of like a spoiler for some people who didn't play the game. But it got me so into it when I was playing the game that even my wife, Claudia, came in when I was playing it, and she's like, dude, are you all right? You're like so intense. And it was like, there's this one part of the game, and I think it's going to be in the series, that I was just so like determined. I was like, oh, gotta get my daughter out of there. Like, I can't say anything because I don't want to give any spoilers, but it was so well. So obviously the game itself is already emotional, and the first episode already kind of laid out the groundwork of how emotional this show is going to be. I mean, we see Joel Miller lose his daughter in those for a few minutes. Oh, spoiler, sorry if you've never seen it yet. If you haven't, it's not my fault. You should have. That's a lesson for you. Watch these shows.
I haven't even seen it yet.
Shut up, fool. You know you have. But yes, guys, it is so good. It is so much. I think the fact that Pedro Pascal is such an amazing actor. Oh, okay, my second dream, aside from going to a movie premiere, is meeting Pedro Pascal. I wish I could just meet him and talk to him, hang out with him. Not just him. It's so awesome that Pedro Pascal, Diego Luna, who was Cassian Andor, which, again, one of the best TV shows of 2022. Amazing. And, of course, Oscar Isaac, another one of our picks of the best stuff of 2022 in Moon Knight. These three guys are actually, they actually like know each other. They hang out. They love each other. Dude, I just wish I could be in a room with all three, just kind of talking and hanging out. One day, hopefully one day. But Pedro Pascal does the character of Joel Miller justice. He just, all of a sudden, you just forget that he's the Mandalorian. You just look and say, this guy is playing a very emotional character, very complicated, layered character. And he just does so well. And Bella Ramsey, we only got a small portion of her, but boy, she's gonna be pretty amazing in that. She was already so good. So everything's great. The locations, we're going to start seeing, it's people call it a zombie movie, and it kind of is, but it's not your typical zombies, because when people get infected, it's not a virus, it's a fungus type thing. So they're not like out there like trying to eat brains because they just like have this insatiable hunger to eat human flesh. And it's not that. It's more like the person who's infected is like the host body who's trying to transfer that fungus to someone else. So it's not like they're trying to devour eating somebody. It's more about spreading that fungus. So it's different. So even that, it feels a little different. Man, it's so good. So I highly recommend that you guys watch it, continue watching it, and you guys are gonna see how emotional that is. And I even would recommend that if you haven't played the game, to don't play it, watch the series, and then go play it, and you'll probably have a better appreciation for it. So yeah, there it is. The Last of Us. That's gonna be our pick of the year already. It's January, and I know there's other stuff in there, but I think you guys will enjoy it. All right, I wanted to give you guys, like I mentioned you guys last week, of what are my 10. Well, not exactly 10, but I think I have 10, but just my most anticipated movies of 2023. So let's start off with Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania. Guys, look, yes, we talk a lot about Marvel movies. We talk a lot about, superhero movie type or TV shows, but because it mostly dominates a lot of what we see out there, right? Marvel has been on a hot streak since 2008 when the first Iron Man came out. It's had some couple things, some bumps in the road. Thor: Love and Thunder was kind of lacking a little bit, and other movies that are kind of like that, but they're usually all pretty good. So yes, we have Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania. Somebody said something funny to me last time, that we're having a Ant-Man trilogy and we only just got one Superman movie. Not my fault, that's DC's fault. But anyways, we have an Ant-Man trilogy. Yes, Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania. But why is this one so big? Because the main big bad villain that we have for this whole phase, or actually phase 3, 4, 5, and 6, is like, instead of Thanos, our main big villain in these upcoming Marvel movies is Kang the Conqueror. And when we get a bigger a bigger picture, or at least we get to see him in all his glory, man. Is like his suit that he's famous for in the comic books, the blue face shield, you get to see him, and he's played by Jonathan Majors. Jonathan Majors he's on fire right now, man. He is so great right now, and he plays Kang. And obviously we have Paul Rudd in that, man. We have his daughter, which actually is played by a different actress than the one we had in Endgame. And of course Evangeline Lilly, and we have some other characters. We have a character that there may be some secret characters that I've heard around there. I can't give away any of that, but there is some other things. I think we'll have some surprises in this, but this movie is great, and it's going to be, well, I don't know if it's great, but it's going to be great. I'm pretty sure. But I think the biggest thing about it is that the Kang is in there, and it's sort of like a proper introduction, even though we got him in Loki season as Huey Remains. He's in that. He's a variant of Kang. And when I say variant, you'll know once you see the movie about the different Kangs there are, and this in particular is probably going to be like one of the baddest one, right? So I just can't wait. BODOK is in it. I'm just super excited. I mean, you might say that I can't wait to watch this movie. Yeah. Hey, okay, I deserve that. It's still though. Can't wait. All right, so our next movie that I cannot wait, speaking of Jonathan Majors, is Creed 3. Creed 3, thank you. Creed 3, guys. The Creed, is it Creed 3? Oh yeah, dude. I was like, dang, there's the Creed 3 already. Yeah, I know, dude. It's like,
this guy boxing?
he gets a trilogy, and we don't have a Superman trilogy yet. Jeez. All right, so Michael B. Jordan again comes back as I can't even remember what his first name is. Just know him as Creed. Michael B. Jordan, and he is back with this movie. But then we have Jonathan Majors, and guys, I know I don't want to go back into Ant-Man Quantumania, but in Ant-Man he's supposed to be in Quantumania. He's supposed to be fighting Jonathan Majors. Yeah, if he's fighting this Jonathan Majors, yeah, Ant-Man's not making it through that movie. I mean, dude, bruh.
Oh, hell no.
Exactly, bro. I feel bad for Ant-Man. I don't think he's gonna survive, or maybe he will, but he's not gonna look the same after fighting this Jonathan Majors. He's a beast, man. But Creed, why is Creed like the Creed? That movie was awesome in that it kind of like reminded you going back to the early Rocky movies, Rocky 1, Rocky 2, kind of has that vibe. So it's awesome that we're kind of going back to that. And then again, like I mentioned, Jonathan Majors is in that movie. And I'm really looking forward to it. The Creed movies, the first two were great. And I'm looking really forward to this new Creed movie. The next movie that I'm really excited about is called Knock at the Cabin. This movie is a movie written and directed by M. Night Shyamalan. I know, guys. I don't think he'll ever reach the height that he did in... Oh my God, I can't even think of the movie. I lost the name of the movie. I See Dead People. God. The Sixth Sense.
Okay, yeah, there you go. Yeah.
Jeez, I forgot. I just drew a blank right now.
Bruce Willis.
Yes, Bruce Willis. I don't think he'll ever reach the level again of The Sixth Sense. It was sort of like lightning in a bottle, I guess, with that movie. But the Knock at the Cabin, it's I don't know anything about the movie other than 4 people show up at this cabin where there's a couple that lives there and their daughter, and they show up and tell them the world's gonna end. You must pick one of you to die to save the whole world. That's all they have. That's all they give them. They tell them it's real. They have to figure that out. And these 4 people who it kind of seems like they kind of were brought together, but they don't tell them anything other than that. So it's pretty interesting. But I'm gonna give you a hot take right now. One of the people that stars in this movie is Dave Bautista. Dave Bautista of the Guardians of the Galaxy, of Glass Onion. He's done a few other things. He's a former wrestler. I'm going to tell you right now, out of the former wrestlers that are out there, I think he's the best actor out of all of them. Now, that's not going to say that I'm saying that much. Actually, he does a really good job in the characters that he plays. He plays Drax in Guardians of the Galaxy. He's amazing. He's great in that. He's funny in that movie. He also plays... in the Glass Onion, he's in that movie. I honestly think like he's better than Dwayne The Rock Johnson. And Uno, who's another one of our co-hosts that was here before, he said something that was very true. I think Dwayne The Rock Johnson really does a lot of flops. I think we get fooled by his chemistry and how he's very charismatic, but when he puts movies out, I mean, they kind of don't do that great. I mean, Jumanji probably is one of the few movies, but and they're entertaining, but they're not like movies that are huge blockbusters. I mean, we saw with Black Adam, it came and went, and just people don't even talk about it. I didn't do a review of Black Adam, but I can tell you right now, Black Adam was not that good. Yeah, it was not great.
I didn't even see it.
He didn't see it, and he doesn't like it either. But honestly, it wasn't that great. So honestly, I think Dave Bautista is gonna be probably the best like wrestler turned actor that we have today. So I honestly think you know this is a movie that should be on your radar and check it out. I'm hoping it is. I'm hoping that M. Night Shyamalan comes back to his former glory. So speaking of Dave Bautista and Drax, next movie that I'm super excited about is Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3. Super biased about this because Guardians of the Galaxy is my favorite. Hey, Jackson. Go back to your bed, boo. Guardians of the Galaxy is my favorite Marvel movie from all of those. I mean, it really is. I love that movie. And it's supposed to be like this Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3 supposed to be very like emotional. It is the last one that James Gunn is doing now that he's leaving over to go to DC. But it's also from what, you know, some of the interviews he's put out there is that it is also the last movie for some characters. In fact, Dave Bautista has said this is the last movie that he's doing as Drax. So it doesn't bode too well for Drax. So I don't know if that means he's going to kill him off or something, but I have a feeling that we probably won't be seeing Drax anymore. And that's kind of sad because Drax is hella funny in those movies, man. So, Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3 soundtrack will always be banging because it's always, you know, James Gunn always puts some time and effort into the soundtrack. And the movie itself, I think, is going to be really great. So that's a movie that I'm excited about. Next movie I'm excited about is Transformers Rise of the Beast. Yeah, there you go. Wait, do that again? Yeah, exactly. That's why we go see these movies. Just to hear that old-fashioned cartoon sound when they all transform and stuff. But honestly, this movie's on my list because Michael Bay is not directing this movie. All right, we're not gonna have like cereal boxes like blowing up like it's a grenade or something like that. Like, I mean, Michael Bay just would explode anything if he could. You know, it just he's not in this movie. That's all I need to say. And if you didn't see that effect in Bumblebee, which was really good with Haley Steinfeld, who's in that movie, it was so great because Michael Bay had nothing to do with it. So go watch it. It's great. Bumblebee was good, so you'll see what I'm talking about. And Rise of the Beast actually is based on one of the probably most popular Transformer cartoons, which was
Beast Wars.
Beast Wars, thank you. Beast Wars was part of that, I guess, the Transformer lore, and they made it into a movie, and it's really exciting because it was really, really good. So Transformers Rise of the Beast, I think, is going to be great. So check that one out. Another one that I'm really excited for this year is Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny. Yeah, Harrison Ford is still making Indiana Jones, and he's like 111 or something like that. But he is still doing it. They're using like that technology where they, you know, make you younger. I mean, I wish I had that right now too. Kind of make me look a little younger. Even filters don't work on me right now. No, but if we can have, you know, a young Indiana, that'd be great. But I mean, they're using just technology to make Harrison Ford look younger. But anything that they could put out there, so we don't have to end Indiana Jones with Kingdom of the Crystal Skull. That would be great because they had The Last Crusade, which is the third, and then they had Kingdom of the Crystal Skull, which was not good. So anything that they can end on a good note, I'm all for. So I'm hoping that Dial of Destiny is going to be amazing. Cannot wait. I'm really looking forward to the new Indiana Jones movie. All right. Next movie on the list is Shazam! Fury of the Gods. Psych? No, this movie's trash. Forget it. Next one. I'm really looking forward to Mission Impossible. Oh, John Wick. Sorry. John Wick 4. Dude, the John Wick movies are amazing. They are so good. I said once that, I mean, the movie is really good, but whoever has to like investigate what happened at a certain place wherever John Wick passed, they must be like, why are there so many dead bodies all over the place? Like John Wick 1, I didn't remember they're like in a club and there's gotta be like 30 bodies just strewn all over the place. It'd be funny, right? To find out like people show up and like, why are there like so many bodies like just strewn all over the place? But anyways, beside that, John Wick is amazing. It's so awesome. I love these movies. And John Wick 4 is just, it's not gonna slow down. It looks like it's the trailer came out not too long ago, or at least like the teaser trailer. It's just, I'm all for John Wick, Keanu Reeves continuing to do these movies. I don't care if he shows up like Harrison Ford and continuing doing all these John Wick movies, but I'm really looking forward to it. It looks great. They're continuing that lore of the Continental Hotel and all that other stuff. I think they have already some what do you call those production team when they do spin-offs? They're already doing spin-offs with Anna de Armas is doing the ballerina. They're doing a spin-off about the hotel. I mean, they just were able to do like a whole franchise out of this movie. And I think a lot of it had to do because of Keanu Reeves. And I'm really looking forward to it. So John Wick for this year, I'm really looking forward to. Next one is Mission Impossible Dead Reckoning Part 1. I don't know if we'll get a Part 2 because the way things going, Tom Cruise is going to end up killing himself with one of these stunts because that fool is crazy. That fool's like hanging out of like a plane and stuff. He did a little PSA about, hey, yeah, guys, we're in the middle of filming. He's like hanging on the side of a freaking plane or something like that. I think one of the main stunts is him riding a motorcycle off a cliff and then like parachuting off of it or something. I don't know, man. I think in fact one of them is actually going to be him in actual space. It's like, I don't know what else he can do. But you know what? I'm all for it. I don't want him to die. Honestly, I don't, because I still want to see some of these movies. I'm going to be selfish here and want him to continue doing these movies because I love these movies. Mission Impossible Fallout was probably one of my favorites, maybe because Henry Cavill was in it too. I mean, Henry Cavill and the power of that stash. I mean, he like broke a movie because he couldn't shave that mustache. You guys probably know what I'm talking about with Justice League or one of those, right? Where they wouldn't allow him and they had to like digitally put it. That's the power of that mustache, man. So Fallout was great. And so if he could continue making those movies, and hopefully, he's encased in like some kind of protected shell every movie or something so he doesn't die. But I'm all for it, man. Tom Cruise is amazing in these movies. And like I said, Part 1 is this year. I'm assuming Part 2 would be the following year if he makes it out alive. That'd be great. And I'm looking forward to that. So Mission Impossible Dead Reckoning, guys. The next one, dude, is Dune 2. Dune 2. Timothée Chalamet. My boys wish there were Timothée Chalamet. They keep talking about Timothée Chalamet. But, I mean, he is good looking, Timothée Chalamet. I mean, I think I got his hair almost now.
No.
Okay, shut up. Why does Timothée Chalamet almost kind of look like Matt?
Like a god.
He has like Matt's haircut. Matt is a friend of ours from church, and he has like the same haircut. Huh?
Yeah, he does.
Anyways, Dune 2, guys. Dune is so great. Now it's based on a book, and it's a trip when you see the movie of how much Star Wars kind of stole from Dune. It's kind of funny. But Dune itself is really good. It's visually amazing, visually beautiful to look at. I'm not talking about Timothée Chalamet, Jason.
Sorry, no, I thought you were.
No. But the movie itself, the story, it's really good. This Dune, they did have a version of Dune that had Sting in it, and back in the 80s, that is to me like kind of unwatchable. Some people like it. I don't like. I remember watching that as a kid, and I was totally like confused. I don't know what was going on. But this movie itself is a lot better. Again, has great acting in it. They're doing Part 2, which is coming out this year, and I'm really looking forward to that. I thought it was great. The story is awesome. Check that out. I think that's something that you should keep on your radar as well. And last but not least, I gotta put this out there, guys. Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse, guys. When the first one, Spider-Man Into the Spiders, right?
Yep.
That was such a surprise. I was not what I was expecting. I got to see Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse on a movie screening before the movie was finished, so they had a lot of effects that weren't done. But I already like enjoyed it so much, and I couldn't wait till I actually got to see the whole movie. And Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse is such a good movie, so great. It really it's not your Peter Parker Spider-Man. This Spider-Man is about Miles Morales, who is a different Spider-Man from a different universe. And this one, Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse, you're supposed to be getting like other Spider-Man. And of course, we had Spider-Man No Way Home, which we got to see all three film Spider-Man, right? Tom Holland, and we got Andrew Garfield Spider-Man, and of course Sam Raimi's Tobey Maguire Spider-Man all together. But this one is supposed to get like all the Spider-Man. If you guys could see on that poster, you'll see all these different Spider-Man. You could see Spider-Woman. You'll see Spider-Man 2099. You'll see who else is in there? Spider-Gwen is in there. God, so many in there. Ben Reilly Spider-Man. Oh, dude. This movie looks amazing. It looks so good. The music is really good, and the artwork is going to be pretty great to look at. So it's just a movie I'm really looking forward to. I have no doubt that it's going to be really good. So that's what I'm looking forward to. So those are the movies that are most anticipated for me. Not in any particular order, but just the movies I'm looking forward to in 2023. So anyways, we've come to the point of the show where we will give you our pick of the week.
Pick of the week. Pick of the week.
There you go. Love it. That's right, guys. This is the point of the show where we give you our recommendations of what to watch over the weekend or during the week, or just something that I really enjoyed and I really recommend. This week, the show that I recommend to you guys is on Amazon Prime, available now. All episodes. There's 2 seasons. The latest one is season 2 right now, and it is the final season, so it's only going to be 2 seasons, so you don't have to commit a lot. So if you haven't seen it, you could easily binge 1 and 2 over the weekend. And you're saying, Jeff, what do you have nothing to do or what? Because you could watch all 2. I do, but I probably don't sleep as much as I should be because I end up watching a lot of these shows. But Amazon Prime has a show called Hunters, and it stars Al Pacino. That's right, I'm pointing the wrong way again. Al Pacino is a character on this show. He plays Meyer something. Can't remember. But the show itself is about some Jewish Nazi hunters. I was trying to figure out a way to put it out there, but yes, they are Nazi hunters looking for people who've gotten away. But in season 2, we find out that they're looking probably for the biggest Nazi of them all. Yes, in this show, they posit the fact that Adolf Hitler is still alive, and that's who they're hunting. Yeah. That's pretty dope. I mean, they're actually looking for Adolf Hitler. That's in the season 2. Season 1 is just kind of like the setup, but the show itself is so good. It really is. They have their twists and turns in there, and there's a couple of things here and there that maybe are not that great, but honestly, the characters that they play, the hunters that are out there hunting Nazis, I love it. And then in the second season, we add on Jennifer Jason Leigh as part of the cast. It's just really good. There's only 2 seasons. I believe it's about 8 or 10 episodes each, I believe. So it doesn't require a lot of commitment. I would recommend you start, watching it here and there. And I think you will enjoy it. So Hunters on Amazon Prime, available now, both seasons. Watch it. I hope you like it. So anyways, that was our show for today, guys. Thank you for joining us. I hope you guys enjoyed it, enjoyed what we have, or what we're really excited about in movies. I hope you guys enjoyed that. Please don't forget to go out there and subscribe to the podcast. You can either subscribe it to on Spotify or whatever you're listening it on. But we're also on YouTube. Go to our YouTube channel and subscribe there. Give it a watch and let us know what you guys think. There's comments on there. Go ahead and feel free to tell us what you guys think. Don't forget to also, you can go out and check our social media pages. They're all usually at The Beta Report on Instagram, on Twitter, on Facebook. And also, like I said, now on YouTube. So check it out on there. So, also we have our website at thebetareport.com. You can go and see all our prior episodes, even into the beginning of the Beta Report. You'll find on there. And that's actually kind of cool to go way back to our first episodes and how far we've come, or how far we haven't come. I don't know. It's up to you guys. So anyways, thank you guys for joining us. Next week we'll be having different things to talk about. We'll have different reviews, different pick of the week.
Pick of the week.
And we'll catch you guys until next week. I am Jeff, aka The Con, and this is the Beta Report. See you guys next week.